There is a quiet grace that descends when the noise of the world finally begins to fade. The worries, the endless lists, the echoes of the day's tasks. They slowly step aside, making room for a silence that is not empty, but full. It is a silence held in the hands of the one who measured the heavens with the breadth of his palm and set the stars in their ancient places. In the stillness of this night, you do not need to strive. You do not need to solve the unresolved or hold together what feels fragile. You are invited to simply lay it all down. Across thousands of years, tired souls have looked up at the very same night sky and found refuge in the promises of God. They walked through seasons of deep uncertainty, through valleys and dry deserts, yet they discovered a truth that remains unbroken tonight. God does not faint or grow weary, and He never stops watching over you. As you lean into this time of rest, allow your breathing to slow. Inhale the steady peace of His presence, and exhale every tension you've carried today. You are held. You are protected. You are safe. Let us journey together through 10 chapters of sacred rest, reflecting on the enduring comfort of God's Word. Chapter 1. The Blanket of Creation, Genesis and Beyond. Before the first dawn ever broke across the canvas of the universe, there was only stillness. The Spirit of God hovered over the deep, silent waters, a vast, serene expanse waiting for the whisper of life. In that quiet beginning, creation did not rush into existence. It unfolded with absolute intention, rhythm, and peace. When God spoke light into the darkness, He did not banish the night. Instead, He honored it. He separated the light from the darkness and called the light day and the darkness night. He established an eternal cadence, evening first, then morning. Rest preceded work. Silence preceded song. The night was never meant to be a place of fear. It was designed as the original sanctuary, a divine interlude created for quiet and renewal. Imagine standing at the edge of the world during those first evenings. The sky stretches above you, painted in deep indigo and soft violet. The stars appear one by one, lit like small, eternal lamps across the cosmos. He determines the number of the stars and calls them each by name. Great is our Lord and mighty in power. His understanding has no limit. Psalm 147:4-5. Consider the depth of that promise. The God who knows the vastness of every galaxy, who holds the orbits of billions of suns, knows the intimate details of your life. He knows every thought before it settles in your mind, every quiet prayer unspoken, and every weight your shoulders have carried today. If He maintains the precise harmony of the heavens without missing a single beat, He is more than capable of keeping watch over your life tonight. As the dusk deepens, picture the vast landscape of creation settling into rest. The forests grow quiet under the soft canopy of evening mist, their branches resting from the winds of the day. The oceans continue their rhythmic, gentle rise and fall against the shore, a steady heartbeat set in motion at the foundation of the world. The fields rest beneath the cool night dew, quietly nourishing the seeds planted beneath the earth. Creation trusts its Creator without effort. The birds do not worry about tomorrow's grain, and the lilies do not strain to bloom. They simply exist in the abundant care of the one who provides for them. You, too, are part of this holy design. Your body was made for rest. Your heart was made for peace. God created the night specifically so that you could let go of the reins. You were not made to carry the universe. He was. As you settle into your bed, feel the support beneath you. Just as the earth rests securely in its orbit, held by unseen laws of grace, you are held in the steady, unchanging love of God. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Release the tightness in your hands. Let your breathing become slow and rhythmic, matching the tranquil cadence of creation itself. The night has arrived, full of quiet beauty. God is watching. The stars are in their places. You may rest now, completely secure in his endless care. Chapter 2. The Shepherd's Valley, Psalm 23. There is a tranquil green valley where the grass grows thick, soft, and cool beneath the evening air. Through the heart of this valley winds a stream of still water, so clear that it mirrors the fading violet light of the sky, and so gentle that its gentle flow makes only the softest whisper against the smooth river stones. This is the sanctuary of the Good Shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Psalm 23, 1-3. A shepherd knows his flock intimately. He knows which sheep tire easily, which ones wander when anxiety creeps in, and which ones need extra comfort before they can settle down for the night. Before he leads them to rest, he inspects the ground. He clears away sharp stones, ensures there are no hidden dangers in the grass, and guides them away from rushing, turbulent rivers toward quiet, still waters where they can drink deeply without fear. When David wrote this psalm, he was not speaking as a king sitting on a throne of gold. He was remembering his youth as a humble shepherd boy watching over his father's sheep under the starlit sky of Bethlehem. He understood that a sheep cannot lie down if it is hungry, if it is threatened, or if it feels isolated from the flock. For a sheep to rest, it must feel entirely secure in the presence of its keeper. Notice the quiet progression of God's care in these verses. I shall not want. Every need you have, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, is known to him. You do not have to strive or worry about having enough strength for tomorrow. He provides in abundance. He makes me lie down. The shepherd invites you to stop moving, to pause the endless walking of the day, and to let the ground carry your weight. He leads me beside still waters. He guides your mind away from the churning, noisy thoughts of life, and leads you to places of deep, undisturbed quiet. He restores my soul. Rest is not merely a cessation of work. It is an act of renewal. As you sleep, God quietly repairs what was worn down, breathing life back into your spirit, even when the path leads through shadows, when the valley feels dark, long, or uncertain. You are never walking alone. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Psalm 23:4. A shadow can feel intimidating, but a shadow has no substance. It cannot harm you. It only proves that there is a light shining somewhere nearby. The shepherd walks right beside you in the dark. His rod protects you from harm, and his staff gently hooks around your shoulders to keep you close to his side. You do not need to look ahead into the dark valley to see where the path ends. You only need to look at the shepherd who walks beside you step by step. As the night deepens over the valley, picture the flock resting together on the soft hillside. The air is cool and fragrant with wild thyme and cedar. The shepherd stands guard at the fold, watchful, calm, and unchanging. You do not need to guard yourself tonight. You do not need to worry about what lies around the bend. You can safely close your eyes, trusting that goodness and mercy will follow you all the days of your life, and that you are held securely in the arms of the one who never slumbers nor sleeps. Chapter 3. The Fortress of the Most High, Psalm 91. Imagine an ancient, towering stone fortress set high upon a quiet, immovable mountain. Its walls are thick, weathered by time, and forged from solid rock that no storm can shake. Deep within its inner courtyard, far removed from the howling winds and sharp chill of the valley below, lies a sanctuary of absolute warmth and calm. Heavy wooden doors seal out the darkness, and inside, a hearth burns gently, casting a soft, golden glow across the room. This is the picture of refuge offered to you tonight. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. Psalm 91:1, 2. Notice the word dwell. It does not mean to visit briefly or to drop by in a moment of sudden panic. To dwell means to make your home there, to pull up a chair, to unburden your shoulders, and to stay. When you dwell in God's shelter, you are not a stranger seeking temporary cover. You are a child resting safely under your Father's roof. And what does it mean to rest in His shadow? To be in someone's shadow, you must be standing right beside them. If God's shadow falls over you tonight, it means He is standing directly between you and every anxiety, every fear, and every lingering worry of the day. The psalmist continues with a picture of gentle, intimate protection. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. Psalm 91:4. Think of a mother bird gathering her fledglings under the warm, soft shelter of her wings during an evening storm. The rain may fall around the nest, and the wind may bend the branches of the tree, but beneath those outstretched wings there is only warmth, stillness, and the steady, rhythmic heartbeat of protection. God's faithfulness is not dependent on how strong your faith feels tonight. It is not dependent on how well you managed your thoughts today or how prepared you feel for tomorrow. His faithfulness itself is. Watch over your body, your mind, and your spirit while you sleep. As the midnight hour approaches, let these words sink deep into your thoughts. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day. For He will command His angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Psalm 91:5-11. The night holds no power over the one who created light. You do not need to lie awake, guarding your mind against pathless worries or unknown tomorrows. God has already placed His heavenly guard around your home, your room, and your bed. Feel the heavy oak doors of the fortress close shut behind you. The cold air of the world outside cannot reach you here. The demands of people, the noise of news, and the burden of expectations are all left outside those thick stone walls. Inside this holy refuge, there is only quiet grace. Take a long, slow breath in, feeling the warmth of God's presence surrounding you, and slowly release it, letting go of every need to protect yourself tonight. You are shielded. You are sheltered. You are deeply loved. Rest now inside the fortress of the Most High, under the peaceful shadow of the Almighty. Chapter 4. Peace in the center of the sea. Mark 4. The air at dusk over the Sea of Galilee is soft and heavy with the scent of water and drying cedar fishing nets. After a long day of teaching on the hillside, where thousands gathered to hear his voice, Jesus turned to his disciples as the sun dipped behind the western hills. "Let us cross over to the other side," he said gently. They pushed off from the rocky shore. The wooden boat glided through the cool, glass-like water, leaving quiet ripples behind in the gathering twilight. The disciples, seasoned fishermen who knew every rhythm of this lake, set the sails and handled the oars with practiced, easy hands. As the shoreline faded into shadowy silhouettes, Jesus retreated to the stern of the boat. There, on a simple leather cushion used by the helmsman, he laid his head down and fell into a deep, undisturbed sleep. Consider that moment, the creator of the universe, wrapped in simple woven cloth, resting quietly against the creaking timber of a small fishing vessel. He was not anxious about the depth of the water beneath him, nor was he wary from fear of what lay ahead on the opposite shore. Without warning, down through the mountain gorges that cradled the lake, a sudden gale swept across the water. The calm surface dissolved into churning white foam. Waves began to crash over the sides of the boat, filling it with cold water. The wind howled through the rigging, shaking the wooden frame. The disciples, men who had weathered countless storms before, felt panic rise in their chests. They strained at the oars, bailed water with frantic hands, and fought against the dark currents, exhausting every ounce of their strength. Yet, in the stern of the boat, Jesus remained fast asleep. The storm raged around him, but it could not penetrate the perfect peace within him. The roaring wind and crashing waves could not disturb a rest anchored in the presence of God. In deep distress, the disciples rushed to him, shaking his shoulders. "Teacher, do you not care that we are perishing?" Jesus opened his eyes. He did not wake with alarm or panic. He slowly stood up in the rocking boat, the wind whipping his robes, and looked out over the wild, violent darkness of the sea. He did not shout. He did not struggle to make himself heard over the gale. With quiet, absolute authority, he spoke to the wind and the waves as if comforting a restless child. "Peace, be still." Mark 4:39. In an instant, the wind ceased its howling. The violent swells collapsed back into smooth, quiet water. The wild sea became like polished glass under the night sky. A sudden, deep stillness blanketed the lake, so quiet that the only sound remaining was the soft lap of water against the hull and the rhythmic breathing of the men on board. Jesus turned to his companions and asked gently, "Why are you so afraid? Do you still have no faith?" Tonight, you may feel like you are in the middle of your own storm. Thoughts may be churning like restless waves. Worries about tomorrow, lingering tension from today, or sudden anxieties that seem to come out of nowhere. Look at the stern of your boat. Jesus is there with you. He is not overwhelmed by the turbulence in your life. He is not rattled by the unpredictable currents of the world. The same voice that silenced the roaring Sea of Galilee with 3 simple words, "Peace, be still," is speaking over your mind and heart tonight. You do not need to fight the storm on your own strength. You do not need to stay awake at the oars, trying to navigate through the dark waters. Let the frantic bailing of water stop. Drop your oars. Place every heavy, tossing thought into the hands of the one who commands the winds and the waves. If Jesus can rest in the middle of a gale, you can rest safely in his presence tonight. The storm has passed. The sea is completely still. The waters are calm, and you are held by the King of Peace. Chapter 5. The gentle whisper in the cave 1 Kings 19.